Today we're looking at online stores from celebrities, major brands, and just everyday normal people too. We're starting with Mr. Beast and Feastables. So let's take a look.
And the first thing I'm noticing is this is very colorful, which makes sense. Food and color almost always go together. Like you won't see many food websites that are minimalist black and white. That's more common for fashion websites. Instead, food websites are typically more colorful, like this. You see this in the real world too. Fast food restaurants are colorful, like often using pretty similar red-yellow color schemes. So when you think food, think color. Okay, the other thing to point out is this design is it's loud.
It kind of screams at you. It's a bit unhinged. Of course, he's selling chocolate bars to kids, so maybe the loud design is on purpose, but let's diagnose why it feels loud.
Well, for starters, only uppercase fonts are being used. Uppercase fonts can give off the perception of yelling. Plus, they're harder to read, so too much uppercasing can feel overwhelming. We also have this snow falling animation. And while it's a cool trick that it's falling behind the elements, it's still just distracting. Animations like this need to serve some purpose, and I'm not sure what the snow falling does here. I guess it gives a festive feeling, but mostly I think it just makes the page more overwhelming and loud. One other thing to point out, Mr. Beast's face lacks color. It looks pale, which if you're selling food, you don't want your models to look pale and sickly. But okay, so if we pop this into Photoshop, we can fix it pretty quickly. That looks a bit better. Here's the before and after. I'm not saying it's a crazy improvement, but it is an improvement. Okay, let's scroll. Okay, marquee text. That's what you call this auto-scrolling text. And it's a huge trend on e-commerce websites right now. I'm a little against it. I don't think this trend will last long. Why? Well, okay, let's pause it. First of all, the full text here is overrunning the page, which means you have to wait for the beginning to even understand what's being communicated. But mostly, marquees just make your visitors work to have to read them. In fact, if we scroll down, we can see he actually has just a list of logos communicating the exact same thing, but in a way more straightforward way. If people want to know where to buy your product, just make it easy and obvious. Okay, let's look at a product page. This is actually nice. Nothing is moving. It's a little more calm. I haven't actually really looked at this header yet. I'm guessing this is checkout, this is language, but what does this smiley face and the pin icon do? Login. Oh, okay, I guess repeat customers can create an account.
A smiley face isn't really a conventional icon for an account. Something like this is.
Oh, and map pin is a store locator.
Vague icons like this are the death of user experience. People don't know what they mean. Think of a grandpa trying to buy some Feastables for his grandkid's birthday. He wants to know where he can buy them, but is he going to have any idea that this icon links to a store locator? I doubt it.
Okay. Again, everything is uppercase. It's not the end of the world, but it does make scanning lists like this just a little bit harder. And these buttons are fun, but they're also kind of unconventional. Like select a size. I wonder if it's obvious enough to Grandpa that this is a select box.
I'm kind of picking nits here, but I think big picture this website has some tension between brand and usability. There's so much branding stuff going on that I worry it's getting in the way of usability. I bet you'd see an improvement in conversions if you made this just a bit less overwhelming and more conventional. Because while branding is super important, it should never confuse people. Because if you confuse people, that just means fewer sales. And this is capitalism, baby. Mr. Beast is here to make some... All right, next up, Kim Kardashian's Skims.com.
We're going to start on the category page, specifically in the men's section, which I didn't even know they had men's clothing. This website is super conventional, and I mean that as a high compliment. It's very clear and very obvious how to use this website. We have our main navigation. And if we hover, a drop-down menu appears, which leads to category pages. Shopping cart is top right, and hey, that's a more conventional icon for account. Nicely done. You can filter products on the side and quickly see different colors.
Everyone is used to this. Everyone has seen this layout, and that's great. Kim's website embodies one of the great web design principles. Don't make me think. Keep things conventional. To really emphasize this point, let's look at a major brand that does a terrible job of this. Uniqlo. Uniqlo? I could be saying it wrong. And I actually love this brand. In fact, I'm wearing a shirt from them right now, but their website breaks the cardinal sin of web design. It makes you think.
Like, let's say we wanted to see their men's t-shirts. What would you guess we should click? Right here, right? Well, no. These links just move the homepage slider. What? Instead, you have to click this magnifying glass icon to bring up the navigation. That's terrible. This is so not obvious. First of all, visitors expect navigation at the top, not at the bottom. Don't mess with that.
Second of all, the magnifying glass. It's a universal icon for search. Everyone knows that. No one is expecting this icon to mean open navigation. If there is an icon that is universal for opening navigation, it's the hamburger icon. And don't come at me in the comments and say, this is cool, it makes them unique and distinctive. No, never. There's nothing wrong with being unique, but should never be at the expense of usability. Because Uniqlo, you're making me think. Stop making me think, make it easy and obvious.
Okay, let's jump back to Kim Kardashian's website. I suppose you could criticize it for having a lack of brand identity. Like, Feastables was colorful and loud. But I actually don't think fashion websites should be like that. You want them to be minimalist, with lots of white space to frame photography. If there's one thing I would say, it's that this navigation has a few too many links. At a certain point, things are just kind of getting lost in the mix. If we remove a few, I kind of think that looks better. Before and after.
Okay, next up. Let's stay in the Kardashian universe and look at Kylie Jenner's website, Kylies Cosmetics.
Okay, this is not as good as Kim's. For starters, does the logo need to mention her name? I mean, it's already called Kylies Cosmetics. If you're trying to emphasize that this is Kylie Jenner's brand, just maybe put her photo somewhere on the homepage. Let me try removing it really quick here. Okay, that's better, less clutter. And you know what? I don't like these stars. I'd imagine they're trying to draw attention to these links, but I bet if you actually tested this, the stars are just resulting in fewer overall navigation clicks. I could be wrong, but let me show you. If we remove them, I think that just looks less cluttered and cleaner. Here's the before, here's the after. Also, I'm not sure if this is coming through on the video, but this is a blurry, low-resolution image. That's tough. E-commerce is so visual.
Like I said earlier, photography sells in e-commerce, so you want clear, high-res images, like Kim has on her website.
Let's click through to a category page. You know, as I'm browsing this, here's the thing. I think this website is just out of date. To me, it looks like it launched like 5 years ago, maybe more. It's just due for a refresh. Like, this grid looks out of date to me. There's too many borders and boundaries. Again, look at Kim's grid. That's tidy. That's modern. Kylie's looks like it would have been more modern in like 2018. Let's check out a product. Oh, that's funny. Mr. Beast had everything uppercase and Kylie has everything lowercase. And I'm being kind of a grump, but I think just normal casing is best. We're overthinking the branding here. And it's at the expense of readability. Like, look at this paragraph. New sentences should have capital letters in a paragraph. It just makes it more readable.
All right, let's take a break from the celebrities. We will come back to them, but let's just look at a great example of a small business.
This is so good. It nails so many of the fundamentals of web design. For starters, the branding is on point for a barbecue sauce company. Fonts are loud and in your face, and it's colorful. We know food websites should be colorful. And they are doing the uppercase font thing, but guess what? They're doing it very well. They're economical with their words. People don't want to read a paragraph of uppercase fonts, but this, it's only 7 words. That's doable. Probably about the limit, to be honest. Let's scroll down. Oh, and they do have a marquee, but if we pause, we see it fits within the page. Nicely done. Oh, wow. Those are some big press features. If you can get these press clippings, I mean, that's obviously incredible. Best attitude is gratitude. The Jones sister. Oh, yeah, no, I love this. So, okay, I guess this business is run by two sisters. And come on, they look so friendly.
Attaching a human story to a product is so powerful. And it's an advantage that small businesses have that big corporate conglomerates don't have. Think about a competing product, Kraft barbecue sauce. A faceless commodity item from some corporate conglomerate, and it's suspiciously cheap. Jones barbecue sauce will not be able to compete with Kraft barbecue sauce on price. And a big chunk of customers just care about price. When they search barbecue sauce on Amazon, they choose the cheapest. So if you're going to be a small business selling barbecue sauce, you're not going to win on price. You're just not. And you don't want to play that game. Instead, you want to compete on quality and on telling your story. And a website like this gives you a chance to tell your story.
If I was guessing, I'd say this website was made with Squarespace. Yeah, I thought so.
Squarespace is a popular website builder. I actually use it for a bunch of websites, and I think it's perfect for these small sort of story-driven brands.
Whereas I bet if we checked Skims, yeah, Skims is definitely a Shopify store.
Shopify is also a website builder, but it's better for like sophisticated, full e-commerce stores with a big catalog of products. Now, if you're curious, I've actually included which website builder was used for every website I mention in this video. And you can find that in the video description. So if you like these websites and you want to build something similar, you can see what they were built with. Okay, next up, 50 Cent's G-Unit.
This is way old. This is just super outdated. Obviously, navigation should not be multiple lines. That's just hard to read. To go back to Skims, if your catalog is big, you break it into categories in a drop-down menu. That's just how it's done. And the random red and green is hilarious. I mean, I know it's Christmas, but that's just the bare minimum of effort. Okay, let's check out lifestyle items. Oh man, what is this picture? This is just a really bad picture. It looks like it was taken in someone's house, man. Okay, let's go back. G-Unit Christmas ornament. Yep. Nah, I want that. That's sick.
All right, we're not going to spend much time here. I hate criticizing 50 Cent. I think he's hilarious, but this website's a bit out of date. So, okay. All right, next up, AAKS.
This is minimalism done so well. First of all, these photos are stunning. The color is eye-popping. Although, okay, you know what? Maybe this is too much minimalism. How am I even supposed to see this? This is way too small. And if we pan over, the X button to close this is so small. No one's going to see that. Okay, so let's just bump up the font size. I think that's how you got to do it. If you're going to have this element, make it at least readable. Otherwise, just get rid of it. Let's check out a category page. Fashion websites are all about product photography, and a minimalist design is a great way to emphasize the product photography. Think of it like an art gallery. There's a reason the walls are bare and minimalist because it draws the eyes towards the art. And on fashion website, photos are what sell, so we draw the eyes towards them. And if it's not obvious, AAKS gets this. Very nice.
Last one, and it's another celeb brand. Jennifer Garner's Once Upon a Farm.
We buy a lot of these in my household. It's food pouches for kids. And whenever I grab one from the fridge, I think, what a great logo. It's whimsical, earthy. It's perfect for a kid's brand. This website it's nice. What's with the black text on the photo, though? That's not really working. It's too small, and the background needs to be lightened up over there. That at least makes it readable. Of course, it's also messing with the rest of the image, so we're not going to actually leave that. Actually, this picture kind of sucks, to be honest. The focus is way too uneven on this kid and Jennifer. Don't you want Jennifer and the kid to be in full focus? Anyways, let's talk about colors because, of course, this website is colorful. We're selling food after all. Colors here are more pastel, which for whatever reason I associate with organic and freshness. Is that true? I don't know. Like there's a reason a barbecue sauce website is loud and a kid's food pouch website is soft and gentle. Here's something I want to highlight. These are objection busters. Objection busters are used all the time in marketing. It's a way to get out front and address your customers' potential worries or concerns. Always organic. No added sugar. Snacking made simple. Delivered to your door. Once you understand objection busters, you're going to find them everywhere. Duh, this is cute photography. Remember the pale Mr. Beast? Well, this is the opposite. These kids look happy and healthy. They have a little quiz. Setting our own higher standards. Yeah, they're definitely trying to tell a story about quality. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I think this is a fine website.
All right, hopefully I wasn't too harsh. I mean, websites are hard to do well. And remember, you can find which website builders were used for which website in the video description if you want. Comment below if you enjoyed this series and I can do more. It's kind of a fun format and there's no shortage of celebrities wanting to sell us products, so I think we'd have plenty of content.